Welcome to Camera Stew. This is episode 20. Our sponsor is Lightwear, maker of the finest photography equipment cases on the planet. The choice for some of the world's top professional photographers. You can see a full range of their products on lightwearinc.com.
Beep. What was that?
That was the marker.
Oh, that was the marker.
We are now recording.
Are we recording?
Yeah.
Hey, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Tim. Hi, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going? Welcome back from a long break. This is Camera Stew, episode 20.
20?
Yeah, it was a long
really?
break.
Have we done 20?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
this is
God.
number 20.
I thought we only did like 5 and we got like 6 listeners out of it.
A couple more than that.
A couple more than that. Woo, okay.
Yeah, it was a long break.
It's the small gains that's important. Keep doing the small gains,
Yep,
right?
I turned on the recorder and the date was almost set for 1 year ago.
1 year ago.
It
my God.
has been a bit.
We have had a diversion, haven't we? Why did we get diverted? I don't know.
I got diverted medically.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
That's right. Our fearless leader.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Da-dum, but he's doing better now.
Another scalpel. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh, yet another one.
So, lots of interesting things to talk about
Yeah.
coming up, right?
Yep. This week we are going to be covering different flash systems and talking about that.
Flash systems. Oh, we can go on forever, but we've narrowed it down. What, to 4 or 5 we're going to talk about?
We're going to talk about light. Is
light
what
in
we're going to
general.
talk
Yeah,
about.
I know, right? The system doesn't matter. It's
Yeah,
all about the light.
It's all about the light, you know.
Yeah.
Everything makes light. It just depends on how you like your flavor to start.
You know, we were talking earlier about the ProPhoto speed light.
Yes.
And the only thing that I come back to of looking and thinking I'm going to buy it is how easy to turn that dial up and down. Because
Yes.
Canon and Nikon drive me batshit crazy with all of their menus. Oh my God. I just want it to go up or down. I don't need it to do all this other communication with the satellites and the curvature of the world and whatever it is, you know?
Well,
I
unlike the
don't need
Canons,
that.
you have which menu would you like? 1, 2, 3, or 4? And then you have custom functions that you have to decode with the
Oh
manual.
my God, yeah. Hello.
Well, the real difference that I just checked before we came on air was the difference in price between like a Nikon and the ProPhoto
Yeah.
was $400.
Huge difference, right?
Well, it's pretty significant.
I
yeah.
mean, obviously ProPhoto is in love with their gear, but it's a little ridiculous.
Well, yeah, but
That's
if
what stops
you're
me.
talking about the Nikon, I was kind of looking through them, and that seems kind of like the most ridiculous option. Have you seen their transmitter that they have?
I have not. I
So
have not.
it's little chip. I mean, it almost looks like a mini USB kind of connector.
right.
And it's this little thin brick that sticks out the side of the camera. I mean, the nice part is all of your flash settings you change with the screen on the back of the camera. But you have this thing sticking out the side.
So it's like a little pocket wizard kind of thing that's attached
Kind
to
of.
that.
It's even smaller than a book of matches, but a little thicker than that.
So it's
but-
not built in within the speed light. It's an additional accessory you have to plug into it.
It would be like the Canon's
Commander?
STE3 Commander, except there's no screen on it. So you change all of the settings from the screen of the camera, which that could be okay. But looking it up, all of the Nikon transmitters are pretty much out of stock and back ordered across the board.
Oh, really?
So
Is that because they're popular, or is that because they're?
I'm not seeing it being that popular yet anyway. But so unless you have a couple specific cameras, you actually have to have an adapter to go with it.
Oh, an adapter.
To go to, so you have to adapt the transmitter to like the Nikon 10 pin.
Oh dear.
So it's a couple $100 for, the 3 pieces and a little remote.
Okay, so now we're up to $800 for the Nikon versus now $1,000 for the ProPhoto.
Yeah. So for the Nikon's only radio, and this is also, you can use TTL, but the Nikon's only radio communicating one is the SB5000. All the other ones use the optical infrared transmission,
Right.
which is,
Now that's so you can communicate amongst themselves, but right, is that what that transmitter is all about? So you
Yeah.
can change up and down
Yeah,
the
so you-
settings from one central location, kind of
correct,
Got it.
yeah. And do it over radio instead of over line of sight with the infrared,
thing. Got
which
it.
is kind of a joke at this point.
I mean, right now we're plugging in our pocket wizards, right?
Yeah, I mean, if
And then
you're walking
individually,
over
you're
to
walking around.
if you're walking over to the strobe and changing the power, then none of this really matters.
Right. I suppose I could see where it matters if you have a strobe set up somewhere where you can't get to it, like, with sporting events, how
Well,
they have the
or
the
anybody else.
goal.
Anybody else that doesn't have a assistant like standing next to it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you're by yourself and you got to walk back and forth 20
That
times
is a pain.
to
That's
adjust
true.
the power.
That's true.
I mean, even if it's on manual, just the ability to do it from camera is pretty.
But
huge.
that's where it gets clunky, because now you got all these menus and sub-menus. You got to keep track of where you're at. Doesn't it make it kind of confusing sometimes?
Yeah. I mean, they're very. I think one of those things that's designed by engineers.
Yeah, that's the problem. A
not
lot of it's
users,
designed
yeah.
by engineers. See, that's where I think ProPhoto has kind of hit it. Is
Yes.
It's
I mean, it does come at a cost,
it-
but you have
right.
that really slick, clean, it's
Yeah.
like giant bold letters. This is what you're paying attention to, and no extra junk and
Right.
decoding icons on the screen.
Yeah.
What does that squiggly line with an arrow mean?
Yeah. And
And is the light red or green, or is it orange? And
oh yeah,
it's like, what the hell does that mean?
yeah.
I mean, unless you use it every day, you're not gonna
That's the
be able
problem.
to keep
It's-
on top of it.
If you're using it every day, then you can zip right through it.
Oh,
But
sure.
if you're not, I mean, hell, half the functions on my Mark III, I don't know half of it because I just put it on manual. That's all I
Yeah.
care about. I want to go up, down, but all these other functions, you just go, oh, break out the manual. What does this mean now?
Exactly. Tim and I were on a shoot with a friend, and it was our first time with the Canon product, XRTs, RTs.
Are you talking about the radio speedlights?
Yeah,
Yeah, so the
Yeah, that's
Canon
Canon's.
speedlight's going
Canon
to be
speedlights.
the 600EX.
Boy, was it confusing.
speedlights, And then the transmitter is the ST3RT.
yeah. So confusing to get it to work. And it finally took Tim, a half a morning in the hotel, reading the book,
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
digesting the book, trying
well,
to figure
no,
out how
that
to get them
was-
all to be.
Yeah, that was kind of my fault for not having a refresher before,
Well, that's the problem.
I mean,
you need
that's
a
fine.
refresher
Oh,
course
sure.
to figure
Every
it
time
every time you break it out. And
So if it's not in use every day,
right.
it doesn't become second nature. And I
Right.
think that's where, the user interface is the key when it comes to all of these products now, because it's so much digital,
Right.
and it's menu and a submenu and a submenu and a submenu to try and get it to change from daylight to tungsten. Yeah, it's like,
Exactly.
give me a break.
Exactly.
It
Yeah.
just becomes too difficult. And the engineers, well, they make all great products, but they need some user input on how to make it work better for the photographer.
So the cost of that ProPhoto is looking not as bad. I mean, if you're considering that
All the accessories you
Canons-
need and the little
Well,
dongles,
well,
so
sure.
you get
Yeah.
it
But
I mean,
compatible with your equipment.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, if you're talking with the Canon, a speed light running about 480, and then the transmitters under 300. So I mean, you're pretty close to $800 there. The ProPhoto A1, the kind of speed light type of deal, starts at $1,000, but then the transmitter is another $430.
Oh my God!
like,
For something that manufacturing costs is $20 maybe,
Wow,
$50.
I mean, it's probably a bit more than
What do you
that,
think?
but
Yeah.
still.
But I mean, really, come on.
Well, then,
But-
okay, then you're going to jump into the Godox. Take a look at the Godox here. The Godox AD200.
The AD200.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of
Oh.
looks like a speed light, but the head doesn't flex over, and it's just kind of a battery-powered
yeah.
brick. But the cool thing about that is you can swap out the head for a little
Exactly.
tube,
You can swap out the head
Like a pencil tube?
like a pencil
kind
tube.
of a little stubby pencil tube.
Or
Really?
now they have. I just saw the other day that they've got now a round head that pops onto it, so it becomes the same kind of looking head as the ProPhoto.
Oh, I see that. So
Yeah,
that's
kinda-
really
kinda
going to
like
fill
a
up the box much better.
head
Yeah.
reflector.
So you
Yeah.
actually get a true
Yes.
fill, and you get
Yeah.
a large light. That's the problem with the speed lights now, is it's not. You got to angle those heads into it to really fill up the box.
Yeah.
And you need multiple. You can't do just one. I mean, that's where your Foursquare comes in. You can mount more than one. You can up to 4 literally on that thing and blast a lot of light out of it.
Exactly. But the thing it's interesting, as we talked about the Nikon and the Canon, Godox is really on the heels of everybody. I mean, they're chomping at everybody with their products.
Well, and kind
Pretty
of
amazing.
A sweet spot for them seems to be actually the new 8400
Yeah,
being a monolight. So you're getting away from the speed light form factor at that point.
correct.
But you have your full digital display, similar to Profoto with your dial and your 10th stop increments. The TTL's built into it, just like the Profoto. Their transmitters for the Pro one, for branded like a Nikon or Canon or whatever, are $70. So that tells you what price you can get a comparable thing for the.
I mean, really,
And it's a
comes-
really nice, clean-looking unit. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I hate that expression, but go with it. We're dealing with light. It's how you use the light that's
Yeah.
really going to.
And how you modify the light.
It's huge, the modifiers.
Yeah.
That's where it really. I mean, when we were shooting for Hibiki, the
Right.
whiskey
Yeah.
company, man, we had those little Lytras and we had all these little modifiers and we had these bounces and everything like that. You wouldn't know that we
No.
did. How did that come out, by the way? Did we finish the edit on that?
Almost
Did it
done
look-
with it. Yeah.
almost done? Is it
pretty
looking good?
Yep.
All
Well,
the
little
light
bit of
painting?
a little bit of a challenge
With
that,
the light painting, probably.
we could have used really any kind of fixed LED light to do the light painting that we did on that. And
Right.
and if we go back here and I'm looking at the AD 400 Pro from Godox,
Mm-hmm.
the interface, I mean, I've not used one before, but the interface looks pretty darn clean. But I'm sure that some people will say it's not clean enough, it does this, there's too many buttons, but in changing everything over, you can use it either battery powered, which it seems to be where everybody's going.
Yeah, portable and light. That's
Portable
what I hate
and
about
light.
my Hensels. Damn,
It's-
they're heavy.
Yeah, portable and light. And the interesting thing here is it's you go down to on the page here, you can take the handle system off and you can take the stand mounting and you can just kind of have a brick of light. And
is-
so it's really
Aren't they kind of taking the lead from Profoto? They're just kind of copying what they're doing and just modifying it a little bit?
I think they are.
What company is this? Korean company?
I believe it's Chinese.
Chinese. So they can get away with. I'd be really interested. We should probably get some of those and try them out and see how cumbersome or not cumbersome they are to actually work with.
Right.
Because really, when it comes down to it, the light that you get, we can modify it, and to get a big studio strobe, whether it's Anachrome Broncolor or Profoto, we can get that look. That's the reality.
Yes.
You don't
Well,
need a yeah.
I am kind of curious to try out their transmitter because one thing I noticed looking at the little photos of it is because it works with the Canon system, like so you get a Canon branded transmitter and I believe it should run the Canon speed lights with your TTL and stuff as well as the Godox lights if you use the Godox transmitter.
Oh, is that right?
But looking at the screen, unlike the Canon, it only shows you 3 groups out of 5 at one time, and you have to scroll down and see you see ABC, but you don't see D and E until you scroll down. The Godox has a much taller screen, and it looks like you see all of your different radio groups all on the same screen, which would be kind of slick.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking at that. I mean, again, we just have to really look at that. I don't know. I mean, again, you just have to decide on a system and kind of stick with it, I guess. Because your light is.
Yeah,
I
I
mean-
mean, if you're going with like you have Canon speed lights, or for example, adding something into that ecosystem like the Godox, where you can add into it and use both,
And
seems
it's more
like
versatile, so
yeah,
you're not
I mean,
stuck on
seems-
the brand.
Yeah, you're not totally locked into one. I mean, you're locked into the brand, but that's what your camera is anyway. So
Yeah.
I mean, you're already locked into that brand.
Right.
But it all boils down. Light is light.
Yeah.
You can use an old speed light, an old Vivitar,
Yes.
okay, and modify it, and no one's going to
sure.
know
Right.
what kind of light you used. Like
Right.
that example we did with the Hensels and the speed lights.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
We showed Yarmo.
Yeah.
We showed Mark Mather, who's
Yeah.
been, I mean, he knew Dean Collins way back in the day.
right.
And none of those guys, David
tell the
Nisi
difference.
could tell the difference if we shot it with a set of speed lights and your 4 square boxes versus
Or
the
Hensels and Chimera
and
softbox.
Chimera. Exactly.
It's like no one could
It
tell
was-
the difference.
Yeah, we had the same girl, the same model, the same set, hair, everything was the same, and we just swapped it out. And no one could
Exactly.
tell the difference.
No. And that's just it. Light's light.
Yep.
I mean, there's a lot of DIY on the internet where they take a shop light from Home Depot and you modify it with this, and you modify a shower curtain, and you put it in a trash can, and all of a sudden, you have this wonderful modifier that does what you want it to do.
Oh yeah.
But you're not going to find it commercially available at
No.
either of the big box stores, because you've made it to do what you need it to do.
So, what are we going to say about these things here? Do we buy them? Do we not buy them?
Well, I think the whole thing
Depends on your budget, I suppose.
Yeah, it depends on your budget. The
It's
interest.
like buying a car.
Yeah, it's like buying a car.
Do you want the Rolls Royce or do you want?
Or do you want the Chevrolet or
right.
Ford? Or
They still have 4 wheels,
and
steering
an
column,
engine,
and engine, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's still going to get you there.
Right, and no one's going to know how you got there unless you break it out and say,
show
"Come to the
them.
parking lot. Let me
Yeah.
show you my new car." Right?
Exactly.
Yeah, they don't. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. They still get you to the destination.
The other thing that's pretty interesting, and I think it's because I'm an Elinchrom guy from way back,
Yes, you are.
is what Elinchrome's doing with their batteries. I mean, they've kind of gone with a floor mount type of unit with cables and heads. And with all the strobes and power packs that I have here in the studio, they're all floor mounted with cables and heads. Only now they're making it work with batteries and an AC adapter. So if you want to use it in the studio,
Yeah.
you just put on the AC adapter and plug it into the wall.
Well, that's
And
where
they're
taking advantage of the battery technology getting better.
Yes,
To be able to
absolutely.
pop it.
I've had those units, I have to say, for a long time.
They're old friends, aren't they?
They're very old friends, and I've had no issues. I mean, the build quality was incredible. You can only expect something after 30 years to maybe throw a fuse or two, but I mean, the build is great. And
Yeah.
now that they're able to use these small heads and batteries and also take off the battery pack and put on an AC pack,
But they are kind of giving Profoto a run for their money for
Yes, they
that,
are.
that premium price. Yes.
yes.
Now, they just as a premium as Profoto? I mean, they are premium, but not
they're
as
premium,
high.
but not quite as high. And I think a lot of the pricing, quite frankly, all has to do with who's distributing the product in the U.S.
Oh, yeah. It's that other layer
That
of...
other layer of
someone
money
wants to
that
pay
has
his bills.
someone else,
Yeah.
that's going to do the marketing and the trade shows and the selling. They get figured into the price of the product as well. And so it really,
See, now I'm looking at this Island Chrome ELB 1200 at Beards
Right.
and Hats, right? B&H.
Right.
Oh,
Well, that's all right.
Major social faux pas.
I guess, but that's
So
okay.
what are you going to do, right? And $3,500 for one light, a 1200 watt second pack. Okay. Now I can go to Hensel and get the same thing for less, but they're still pushing light through. I think
Correct.
of when I bought my first Zoom Spot.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That's,
Now I bought it, and
Yeah.
it said Island Chrome, and I retrofitted it so it would fit the Hensels.
Yeah.
I paid over $900 for it, and
And
that was
then
after a lot of research. Instead of paying $3,000 for Hensel, right?
right. And then
Then I kept finding, and you and I discussed about. We found it the Strand. Strand.
it's a Strand housing.
Right. It's a Strand
Rebranded.
It was exactly the same because I bought a Strand for $300.
Right.
I think it was. Modified it, and now I have 2 Zoom Spots.
Right.
And one says
Elinchrom.
Ellen Chrome, and
The other one says Strand.
and they're identical.
They're
identical
yeah,
build,
yeah.
identical materials.
Everything.
Everything is the same. And I just thought, you so-and-so, you just bought this from the Strand at a discounted rate because you bought a lot of them and rebranded it.
Yeah,
Put
exactly.
a sticker on it.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
all you did.
Exactly.
I was so mad at that. I couldn't believe it was like, that's what
That's
they're
kind of-
doing.
Well, I mean, they rebranded it for an increase, and it's funny because the Godox is also the Adorama Flashpoint kind of rebranded, and one of them, the 400 is actually cheaper with the Adorama brand on it.
Is it really?
So yeah, the 8400 Pro is runs like 650, but the Flashpoint Explorer 400
Explorer.
yeah, how We'll just omit some of the characters in the word.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, instead of $650, it's $550 for the exact same thing.
Same
and it's
thing.
like, rebrand it and you do it cheaper. It's like, okay, you know,
Yeah.
I'll take it.
You know, we really need to be married to a bottom line to a certain extent, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you do. And you also need to be married to something that's going to work for you
Right.
every day.
Now, let me ask this. In your years, which is vast of experience in the photo world,
Oh, boy.
when you
Dinosaur
were
fooled
shooting
the
for,
earth.
what, Hewlett-Packard and all
Yeah.
those, right?
Yeah.
Were they somehow impressed that you had Island Chrome flash units?
They didn't have a clue.
Didn't have a clue, did they?
Didn't have a clue.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I ended up with that when I was working with Tom and Gary at Chimera, and we were doing light box tests. You know you know what was efficient and whatever. And Elinchrom came out far and above the most bang for the buck at that time. And we tested everything we could get our hands on, from Broncolor all the way down to Norman and Speedotron and.
Well, and back then, I mean, the name of the game was just sheer power. I mean,
Right.
you had to blast how many pumps from a, you know,
Yeah, if you were
800
shooting-
pack or
y-
600
yeah.
pack, would you have to blast into a sheet of 8x10?
Oh, 16 times maybe.
I mean, that's a ridiculous amount of light.
Well, that's what you had to do.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
yeah.
of course, but I mean that's very, very different than now. I mean, you
Oh,
don't,
absolutely. I mean,
you don't need a floor pack to like blast the crap
no,
out of
I mean
something. And
that's why I have that 8,000 watt seconds of Elinchrom over there, was to shoot 8x10 in a single pop instead of pop, 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 pop.
so what you're saying is you didn't have to worry about the ambient at that point.
Oh no. Oh no.
No.
Didn't have to worry about the ambient, no. But that's what you did. I mean, you didn't have all the conveniences of digital that
Yeah.
we have now. I mean, that liquor shoot we just did, it would happen in a sheet of film and that was it. You either had it or you didn't.
Yeah.
There was
right.
no going back and putting in a highlight or adding a red streak here or straightening that up or what. It was cooked on the emulsion. It was a done deal.
Well, think of the shoots that we've done together, right? All the stuff we did for Playboy. And
Right.
I mean, shoot, I had Hensels and my Alien Bees, and every now and then we'd throw a speed light if we wanted just a little pop of light.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, and if you're going with a studio style setup and you aren't too concerned about having control of the power at the camera, if you have an assistant or you just set it up and leave it.
Yeah.
I mean, the Alien Bees are still pretty competitive
Oh,
for
man.
that.
Oh,
I
they
mean,
are.
the only
They
thing
are,
they're
no
lacking is
question.
that remote control of. I mean, of course,
Well,
you
they
can
have it
trigger them.
now. Their own proprietary remote control.
And a little bit of style.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
mean,
it
if
is
they could-
very. This is function.
If they had
Yeah.
a little more style to their product, I bet.
But I got to tell you, one thing about when it comes to customer service, hands down, in my experience, the customer service is outstanding.
Sure.
I mean, they're what, Tennessee, is it?
Yeah,
or
I think so.
Kentucky? Something
Tennessee,
like
I think.
that. And man, you get them on the phone, you actually get a live person that's
Yeah.
friendly, and they're very helpful, and you send it in, and they fix it, and you get it back quickly. You're not waiting, what, Profoto is what, weeks, months?
Oh.
That you got to send it, it goes all the way back, what, Switzerland? Is that what
I
they're
think it
based?
goes back to Sweden.
Well,
Sweden.
was it?
That's
was
it. I always get those
they
two
had
mixed up.
1 or 2 repair facilities. Is that the company we were talking about?
Yeah,
in the
I think
US?
ProMark in Chicago now
Will actually
repairs-
service it, really?
will actually service it, but I've not had any experience with them, so I have no idea. But you know, the local house here that rents Profoto is just beside themselves of getting service on their units because they have
Like,
some of the other
What's
big
the turnaround for basic service on something? I mean, you're
Months.
talking months. Jeez, I was going to say week.
months. Yeah, it's hard. It's just really hard.
So the other day, or actually this morning, we were talking about you were looking at a Broncolor versus.
Oh,
what
yeah.
what was that all about?
A YouTube story about two guys who test the Broncolor Para versus a company in LA whose name escapes me at the moment, who makes a similar type of product. The difference in price is enormous, and only the very, 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 very experienced could tell the difference between the two. And it's, the Broncolor Para has the light that focuses in and out of the parabolic build, and it pops together like an umbrella. So it goes up quickly. And the company and the photographer who runs this other company in California, I should find that while you guys talk. And the difference in price was significant, but you couldn't really tell. The trained eye could not tell. It would be like the Hensel versus the speed lights.
Yeah.
You couldn't really tell if it was shot with a Broncolor or shot with this other product, and I'll find it here in just a second. But, again, it was pricing. Broncolor was simple to put up. The other one, you had to stick all 16 rods into the...
Well, and that kind of comes back to what you were talking about. The Pro Photo is, it's
Ease
like
of
you're
use.
paying for that ease of use. And if it's something
Right.
you use every day and it's driving you nuts
Yeah.
to be able to use it, some of that convenience comes at a cost.
Yeah, but there's a certain level where you go convenience versus really is.
Yeah. Well, and
Yeah,
that's personal choice, but
it is, because I know I jerry rigged using a Miracle Arm stand. Magic Arm. Excuse me. I want to call it Miracle.
the Miracle Finger.
Miracle Finger and the Magic Arm. Yeah, I can't keep these in my head. Like I care half the
dirty head.
time. I just something that works. But I mounted the Hensel head and pointed it backwards because it had a finger on it that you can point it back
pointed back into
it was a 7-foot octabox.
Okay.
From Shimera. Man, it worked great. I could slide it in, get it as close into the box as I want, or way out in the box. Yeah. And I got actually a ring flash look with that thing. And it's like, wow, I was really surprised.
Yeah, and we all three of us are kind of a little more on the MacGyver end of the spectrum.
Yes, we are.
It's like-
we do MacGyver
It's
stuff.
like, oh, that's not worth it if I can do it with duct tape and chewing gum. Screw
Exactly.
this,
Well,
but
hey.
there are people that is like, I don't want to deal with it. I want
Yes.
it served to me on a silver platter, and I want it to work, and all of this stuff fits together and looks pretty, and
Yep.
they're happy to pay for it. And
Yeah, the name of
Yes.
that company is Parabolics,
Parabolics.
Parabolics light, light.com. And they've got some really, really interesting stuff.
Now, are they producers of strobes, or is it
It's
modifiers?
It's
mainly?
modifiers. It's a parabolic, an umbrella with a movable shaft in the center, and it's a very, very beautiful product. The only difference is that you have to put all 16 rods into the speed ring rather than just popping it up like an umbrella. And for example, here we've got the Parabolics 30.
Well, and some people,
I know.
see.
a,
Yeah.
a four-ribbed softbox is
Sometimes a
beyond saying-
challenge.
Sometimes a challenge for
Yes.
if you're not used to it. And
You know, the
so
big advantage just-
16 would be.
Just looking at these is, how I have that Magnum reflector from
Yes.
Hensel that's really deep.
Yes.
I mean, the pain in that is you can't really put it in a case. It just kind of these you can fold up.
Yes.
So it makes
That
it
is
much more
absolutely,
portable.
Absolutely. I mean, they've got some really nice stuff here that I just think the guy, I've never met him, but he's really done a great job of putting these together. I just think it's well done.
Wow, and the prices are actually very reasonable.
Yes.
I mean,
Prices are very
a
reasonable.
30-inch reflector, what, $400 there? I
$400
mean,
bucks, yeah.
That's very reasonable for what you're getting, looks like. And you can get grids and things like that on it.
Well, and it looks like they've made it fairly universal for.
Now, is this, you're mounting it onto, now is he selling, is it the whole box and then,
He's selling the box
and then the rod that will
and the
fit?
rod, yeah.
Got it.
So
Got it. I see.
I'm pretty sure you've got to buy to make it work. You've got to buy the rod.
Now, the
as
clamping
well.
system that he has there, it looks like a Pro Photo kind of clamp, doesn't it? You see that there? I'm looking at one up close, and it kind of clamps on, kind of similar to Pro Photo. That's really interesting. Now, that would be at the price. Now, how much of a paint, do you have to put each individual rod in? No, you can't do that. You got to be able to just fold that up and put it in a case, can't you?
it all folds up. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, these look really good, because this would compete directly with almost the Febreze. What do they call it?
Breezy. I
Breezy.
think it's breezy. Yeah.
And that's like $9,000?
Oh, it's way up there.
It's
way up there.
Really?
Yeah, I just think these are just really clean lights, and they're different. Like I've got here a Parabolics 40, is $500. Looks like a beautiful.
Oh,
it's
you know-
just amazing.
Let's
he's
see, it
done-
includes the speed ring and bag, but the mounts to indirect light focusing mount is sold separately. So that mount is sold separately.
right.
Got it. Got it. But even still, I mean, that's really interesting. Because that mount is just, or the clamp, we have those just on our arms, big arms that we,
Yeah, exactly.
so
I'm trying to find it here on. No, it's
What's
is that the
that?
quad
I'm going to have
boom?
to say this because I kind of like that, to have to look at that again.
It'd be interesting to try one of these with one of the Godox lights because
Oh,
we're,
yeah,
we're
Right.
trying to MacGyver a little bit of this and a little bit of that because it's all still just.
Yeah, so for that light focusing mount, it looks like it's another 400.
Oh, is that what it is? And that's
Yeah.
going to allow you to bring the light in the box
Right.
more, or
In and out.
in and
Focus
out.
it
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
Well,
it
I
out.
mean, that otherwise you're kind of mounting just the head directly into the base of the umbrella.
Right.
With
And that would be
the
analogous to
focusing
that
arm,
Magnum
it's
reflector.
a-
It doesn't
you know,
move, but it just throws out the light.
Yeah, it's, I mean, with the arm, you're shooting the head back into the parabolic umbrella, like you were talking about.
Yeah.
Well, he's got all kinds of adapters here.
Yeah, this is something to explore a little bit more. Well, how did you find this? You're just kind
I-
of bumping around?
I found it because he has somewhere on the website, he's using a Foursquare product to pack it in.
Is that right?
And I got a link from somebody saying you ought to run with this, and that just happened week before last, so this is a good time to bring it up. But it was really, they're using a lightware case to pack this into.
That's so funny.
Okay. I was like,
Very
you
cool.
said a Foursquare product.
Yeah, I thought it was a four.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
you did. Yeah.
Did I? Oh,
yeah.
Well.
Oh,
I-
I'm looking at this. He has different mounts, so it's not exclusively a Pro Photo mount. I'm looking at the different mounts that he has that you can get. The Broncolor mount, the one for Alien B, Hensel. Which,
Yeah.
incidentally, if you have a Hensel mount, the Alien Bs will fit inside that just
Fine.
right.
Yeah.
Just saying, it fits just fine.
Hey,
yeah,
yeah.
it's not as solid. Don't worry about it, guys. It fits. It'll hold. Done it hundreds of times.
And we have thrown a safety strap on it here and there.
Well,
but,
yeah, just
but,
in
yeah,
case. We don't want to knock the model out, God forbid. But then again, that might be kind of
Hey,
fun.
he even has a old school Speedotron. Yeah.
Oh, does it? Oh, yeah, there it is. Yep.
He has an old school Speedotron in there?
Speedotron mount.
Holy smokes.
I know, right?
He's,
I haven't seen one of the-
covering his bases there.
I haven't seen one of those in a long time.
Yeah. Look at that Broncolor Bowen. So he has it set up. There's your Island Chrome mount right there. So
And he's got lower down on here, he's got you need a Dynalite adapter. You can go here to buy it. Elechrome Quadra adapter, go here and buy it.
see, this kind of excites me. I like the price, and it looks good. And
Yeah.
Oh, Dr. Dan's excited.
I know, right?
Something new for the studio.
I know. I haven't been excited about a product, and it's just like, wow, now that, okay, this guy was thinking, and he found it at a price point that is reasonable.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest with you.
So I think by the time you're done, you'll have a grand in it. You've got
Yeah.
$200 in the adapter. You've got what, $400 in the pole.
Yeah.
So another $400 in the box. So you're gonna have $1,000.
Yeah, you definitely will.
But it's all easily travelable.
Right.
Travelable? Is that a word? Travelable?
Transportable. How about that?
There you go. Better choice of words. It's Friday morning for me.
good.
It moved good.
It moved good.
You break it down and put it in a bag, it'll go with you.
Yeah, there's your problem right there.
You got it.
Got
Wow.
the doohickey attached
So
to
how
the
big of a?
Godox.
You said he was it one of these parabolic things that was going in a lightware case?
Yeah.
What size of case, or do you recall?
Well, I'm trying to find it here.
Was that an extra, or is he selling it with him?
Oh no, he's pointing it towards us. He's a
okay.
backlink or whatever. Okay, down here at the bottom. The Flip Lid 62 by Lightwear Inc. has an inner length of 62 and will fit the Parabolic's quad boom and light.
Does it fold like in this long cylinder?
It folds just like my Elechrome Octabox.
Oh, I see. So you just need a long rolling case if you get this real big one. There's
Yeah.
65.
Yeah.
Got it.
But the kind of coming back round full circle, speed lights are really easy to travel with.
That's
You can pretty
they're
much
light. Oh
pretty
my
much
God.
get AA batteries anywhere in the world.
right.
And the next thing up from that would be that small Godox AD200 would be the same similar size kind of item,
Yeah.
because traveling is becoming a real challenge,
Right.
and bringing your lights is becoming a real challenge.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
That's why
Well,
I've gotten lazy. I
I mean,
just don't want to lug this heavy gear.
Having the AA's is nice to buy some in a pinch, but if you're setting up 4 speed lights and each have 4 individual AA batteries, it does get a little fiddly trying to get them all in there. And so I
True.
could see with something with a single lithium pack you pop in.
that would be nice.
That would be nice. Yeah.
I mean, it would be interesting if someone invented something that would slide into the Canon or Nikon or the Pro Photo. That's just a
Yeah.
battery
Well, I mean,
pack. You just put it in, and
you can
away it goes.
Right.
plug it in externally, but then you're starting to
Then you got
Then you got
you're
wires.
getting bigger and,
and
wires,
more
and-
wires
yeah.
and more stuff. It would be, but again, travel wise, it's and unless you're banging on it and need to have a
Right.
1,000 exposures with a strobe in
Yeah.
1 hour,
I can't even imagine doing that.
I mean, I've even been on situations where I've showed up and the equipment hasn't, and still had to make a picture. So, what do?
Home Depot?
Home Depot, here we go. Home Depot and shower curtains.
Yeah.
Roppity-doo.
For this shoot, I decided to go with a more natural light.
Yes. It's going to be a
little
more
bit-
organic feel.
A little bit more.
That's right. More real. It'll be
ambient
real.
feel with a little bit of added to it.
That's right.
Well, guys,
Okay.
I think we pretty much rambled here
Yeah,
for
it was
our.
good rambling.
So the consensus is that
Light is light.
light is light. Everything
is
kind
light.
of has pros and cons to it.
Mm-hmm.
No thing seems to be the standout champion. Like this is the thing to get.
Right.
No, I mean, if you look at it, there are people who say a speed light. A beauty dish is my look.
Yeah. Right.
And how are you going to transport one of those?
Yeah. Well, that's where Shimura is trying to fill that niche with their little
they'll
beauty dish collapsible.
collapsible beauty dish. And
I don't have one of those, but I've seen the results. And it's like, that is a pain with the beauty dish.
yeah, you can't travel with it.
Yeah.
I remember Greg Gorman wanted us to build a case for his Mola.
I can hear the internet. Yes, you can. It's like you can't do it easily. How about
Yes.
that? There you
Yeah.
go.
Right. Because it's bulk.
Got to put that asterisk
Guys,
in
it's
there.
bulk. You need to have an assistant. You're going to wear yourself out by the time you're ready to shoot. It's like,
Exactly.
oh, God, I'm tired,
What you think is best is what's best, not
Yes.
what somebody else thinks or someone
Right.
else says. What works for you is what you need to do.
It's kind of the artist within.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
got to
be
follow
creative.
follow your path, follow your creativity, and don't get hooked with thinking you got to have every piece of Pro Photo or Godox or Nikon gear that's ever made in order to make beautiful pictures.
Right.
You can do it with a lamp from Home Depot and some shower curtain.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Thank you for listening, and thank you for picking back up where we left off, guys. It's good to be doing this again.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying this.
I think we've planned on doing this once a month.
at least once a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The technical engineer is telling me, shut the up, clap.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe on iTunes and on YouTube. And don't forget to share it with your friends. This episode and others are also available directly at camerastew.com. If you'd like to see some of our work, you can find links to each of our sites, as well as the social media we participate in, all listed on the bio page on camerastew.com. Rating and reviewing the show is always a huge help. Please do. We really do appreciate it. If you have any suggestions or anyone you want us to talk with on our show, please email us at camerastew@gmail.com. From all of us at Camera Stew, thanks for listening.